Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something incredibly fun. We are going to break down the emotional narrative of a classic village cartoon story. We're looking at a seemingly simple, yet surprisingly layered tale about a character named Tomato, and we're going to analyze exactly how the creators use narrative tension, pacing, and dramatic irony to basically take us on a roller coaster of emotions. We're breaking down the exact narrative beats that make it work so incredibly well.
But before we even get to Tomato, I want you to really think about something for a second. Have you ever thought everyone just forgot your most special day? I want you to recall that sinking, pit-in-your-stomach feeling. You know, that overwhelming sense of disappointment when you think the people closest to you completely blanked on your birthday. Hold on to that specific feeling, because that empathy is exactly what this story builds upon. It hooks us immediately by grounding us in this totally universal human fear before the main conflict is even introduced.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The setup, or what we can call high hopes.
So to make a narrative drop feel truly impactful, you have to start at the highest possible peak. And we start our story at the absolute peak of optimism. Tomato's opening words totally set the tone. Wow, what a beautiful morning. I'm so happy. Today is my birthday. The creators intentionally established this incredibly high energy and anticipation right in the opening frame. Tomato is literally vibrating with joy, just greeting the morning with total positivity. By setting the emotional baseline this high, the story basically guarantees that the impending emotional fall will feel that much more devastating. That contrast, that's what creates the drama.
Which brings us to Section 2, the descent, characterized by rejection and isolation.
Now, notice how the narrative doesn't just make Tomato sad all at once in a single scene. I mean, that would be way too jarring. Instead, it intentionally and systematically isolates our protagonist step by step to build this intense narrative tension. Let's walk through this timeline. Point 1. He eagerly meets his friend Potato, expecting a big birthday greeting, but Potato makes a really quick excuse about having important work and just leaves. Point 2. He sees Banga, but Banga is suddenly way too busy to hang out. Point 3. Watermelon totally brushes past him, claiming to be in a massive hurry. One by one, these rapid-fire excuses systematically crush Tomato's morning hopes. He tries to hold on to his trust, telling himself they wouldn't forget, but the timeline of abandonment is pretty undeniable at this point.
Which leads directly to this absolutely heartbreaking moment. Just listen to this quote. "Today feels strange. I am feeling very sad." This specific line perfectly anchors the emotion of isolation. Tomato has gone from the highest of highs down to his absolute lowest emotional point. He's alone, he's waiting by himself, fighting back tears, and wrestling with the terrible thought that his friends genuinely forgot him. It is a complete emotional inversion from where we started.
But this is precisely where the story pivots. Section 3, dramatic irony, involving some secret planning.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the dramatic irony. It's a classic storytelling device, where we, the audience, know something crucial that the main character doesn't. And right at Tomato's lowest, saddest point, the story pulls back the curtain to show us exactly what he's missing. Notice the stark visual contrast here between two totally different realities happening at the exact same time. On one side, you have Tomato's reality. He is agonizingly alone, waiting, and feeling completely forgotten and unloved. But on the exact opposite side, we see his friend's reality, and they are anything but forgetful. They're bursting with this frantic, joyful energy. They're shopping in the lively market, excitedly decorating a hall, and trying to hide this massive cake.
Let's break down their secret operation because they are moving fast. It's a dedicated 4-step mission. Step 1, buy the red balloons and shiny ribbons to make everything look spectacular. Step 2, secure the absolute biggest, most beautiful birthday cake possible because there's no way they're coming up short today. Step 3, buy a beautiful special memory scrapbook and hold on to that detail because we are definitely coming back to it. Finally, Step 4, quickly and quietly clean and decorate the party hall, hanging banners and hiding the cake so the surprise is totally flawless. They are working at lightning speed out of pure love for their friend.
All this frantic preparation sets the stage for Section 4, the ascent, leading right up to the grand reveal.
As viewers, we can literally feel the tension shifting dramatically from sadness right back to suspense. We know the trap is set, but it's a trap of joy. We're just waiting for the emotional payoff, and the excitement is rapidly building. Potato suddenly reappears, basically acting as a decoy to bring Tomato to the location. And notice Tomato's skeptical reaction. "Potato, you came. Why are you smiling so much?" Potato is trying his absolute hardest to keep a straight face while telling Tomato he needs to show him something important.
He leads a very confused, slightly suspicious, and still sad Tomato toward the decorated secret hall. The suspense right before that door opens is just fantastic.
And then they open the door. Let's break down the specific grand reveal elements that catapult Tomato from his lowest sadness back to euphoric joy. First, he sees the stunningly decorated hall. Second, that massive hidden cake taking center stage. Third, all his friends jumping out and shouting surprise. But the fourth point is absolutely the most important. It's them reaffirming immediately that they could never forget him and that he is the best friend in the world. This emotional rush culminates in Tomato joyfully cutting the big cake and making a heartfelt wish completely surrounded by pure happiness.
But the story actually has deeper ambitions, which brings us to our final section, the core message, focusing on true wealth. The narrative intentionally moves beyond just the visual spectacle of the balloons and the massive cake to deliver a much more profound thematic takeaway. So the crucial point is what happens next with the gifts. Among all the generic party items, the friends present something entirely different in a special box. They give Tomato a scrapbook. Notice the details of this gift. This isn't just a standard item bought off a shelf, it's handmade with love. It's filled with old memories of their time together, laughing and being mischievous. It serves as tangible, emotional proof that they never forgot him, and most importantly, it acts as a promise to always stay together. The story highlights this specific gift to show that thought, history, and effort mean infinitely more than anything you could just buy from a store. And this perfectly illustrates the story's ultimate conclusion. The greatest wealth is friendship. As the characters sit together eating that delicious cake, they explicitly state to each other that shared memories and true friends completely outshine any material possession. I mean, the balloons will eventually pop, right? The beautiful cake will be eaten. But the friendship, the shared joy, and the memories captured in that scrapbook, that's the real wealth that lasts forever. Friendship is what keeps them alive and happy.
It's just a beautifully structured emotional journey that takes us from high hopes to deep isolation, and finally to the euphoric realization of true friendship. It leaves us with a lot to think about regarding the people we hold dear in our own lives. So I want to turn it over to you as we wrap up this explainer. What is the most memorable surprise you've ever received from a friend? Think about how it made you feel. Think about the effort they put in. And maybe take a moment today to remind your friends that they are your greatest wealth. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and keep learning.